Okay, and what about SWOT and stakeholders?
Stakeholders part, I didn't recollect that question actually. But however, I did the SWAT one and this one, a risk one. So if you want, I can just bring it here.
Please share on the group so everybody will get an idea.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
What about others?
I listed out the stakeholders. Uh,
Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, and I did um, try to find, I mean, I did the SWOT analysis. I don't know if it is effective, but I will share in the group.
Okay, we can just list down the stakeholder quickly.
Yeah, okay. Um, 1 second. One is the board of directors.
Okay.
They will be focusing on the long-term success of the company. Then employees. Um, for them, the interest will be their wages, job security, safe working conditions, then career progression, uh, then the installers. Um, for them, their interest would be their wages, then checking if they are correctly installing. Um, uh, then for the suppliers, should I list out the stakeholders, or should I also tell what is their interest in the company?
For now, just stakeholder list is fine. Then detail you can put on the group.
Okay, so uh, I've divided the stakeholders into internal and external. So the internal stakeholders would be the board of directors, then the senior management, employees, the sales team, the marketing team, product development team, uh, then the call center representatives, then the installers. And the external stakeholders would be the customers, suppliers, government, and the regulatory bodies, um, trade unions, banks and financial institutions, media, the and the competitors.
And shareholders as well,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
What else apart from this?
I mean, Amrita, you did the call out installers as an internal stakeholders, but we don't have any installers with the Shining Glass. It's all contractors.
Installers, like, yeah, we have the salespersons and the person who are installing the they are also hired. So I thought they are internal.
No, I read that as a subcontractors. All are contractors with a 40 major contractor, total 650
So they
installers.
will be externals.
They are connected.
They are all connected. Yeah.
Okay, so they are okay.
I did Porter's Pipers just to see um, what is the future and what could be the possible risk and how this company can overcome if that possible risk, and if they have to face the unexpected risk, maybe could be rivalry or substitutes. So I thought in the angle and made some notes, and that given my opinion, like how a company should act in maybe dealing with that. Yeah.
So apart from this traditional stakeholders, what are other stakeholders which usually don't get noticed? Like insurance companies, media. Think from that perspective.
Can you help me understand, Misbah, how media is a stakeholder?
Because if anything happens, they are the one who will put something on the newspaper and all. It will affect our reputation.
Okay. So when this so we have to think in on every angle what the stakeholder definition
Yes.
say, like whoever is interested in the company.
Whoever is related to the business directly or indirectly.
Okay. Um,
University
mm,
companies tie up with the universities.
yeah. So under external comes like all this. Of course, whatever comes around the happens to the business that will affect the sales and the third party installer surveys, customers, and this marketing companies and the insurance companies. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Mr.
No problem. So we have reached 20 altogether. Who else? We have done our suppliers. Then this contractors, builders, banks. Banks are very important as a finance
Yes,
provider.
there is a financial, institution, as you said, banks and whatever the financial companies who are offering loans to the company or to the customers on behalf of, this the recommendation of a company. Yes, that's actually a major stakeholder, to be honest, we forgot. Um,
So if I have to add, as Amruta and you guys have already listed all the major stakeholders, if I have to give something out of the box, uh, double glazed windows has a lot of environmental effect as in heat loss and it also reduces carbon emissions. So does the environmental agencies can be a stakeholder? Will
Yes,
they find?
they are the stakeholders. So we can just say NGOs.
Okay.
And nowadays, these people have got a lot of power
Yep.
because
Due to
one
the
thing happening with the
sustainability
businesses,
goal,
we are
there are
saying
17 sustainability goals. Due to that, these agencies have a lot of power and they are working a lot on these reducing the CO2 emission, CO2 emission.
yes.
as well as the online community that they have major impact on the business.
Yeah. Online community, it means you're saying like
The social media and
in general.
yeah, that basically the social media and yeah, basically the general, yeah.
The
It's
society
a
where
public.
operating, especially, they'll be more effective because in that area only social media will also come in the society. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. So, other guys, have you done risk SWOT? I just want to know
Yeah,
what's your
so
study plan because less than a month now.
yeah, so to be honest, I've started like recently. I was going through the pre-scene, so I invested in like market. I did some market research. What is the CAGR 10-year CAGR and all? What are its competitors as in product line like triple glazing glasses and smart windows? I have mentioned some of the risks like these
What is
market is
triple glazing glass? How it is different?
uh, it has a like in this we can see a double layer of glass with a space bar.
Yeah.
It has one more addition. So in that you can save up to the loss of heat is around 30%. In this it's 10 to 15. In that it's like 25 to 30%. And it is more environmental friendly. And it is more difficult to break.
Right.
So it is a upgraded part of this double glazing. And smart windows are basically how we see on a airplane. We can use the button to tint the window, make it more darker and lighter. the smart windows. That is one of the feature.
Okay. And how about the
Yeah,
cost?
sorry.
What about the cost?
Oh, those are expensive, but the triple glazing glass is made with the floating method, what we use generally. So that is very cost effective. But to implement the technology to tint it down, that is a different space altogether.
Yeah. From the
And
cost
that,
point
that
of view, also at least 20 plus percentage of price cost increase compared to double glazing. That's what I have seen in the
yeah,
couple of YouTube
yeah. But the benefit is
reviews.
that it is more secure and uh, people are ready to pay that much because it's a upgradation altogether coming up. And when you are working on economics of scales and this market has become saturated for them, what we can see here. And because this glass has a very less replacement thing, declining demand for replacement window, like because the issues with the windows generally pops up after 5 to 6 years. And in this particular country, like Templand, most of the windows are already having this double glazed windows. So this market is basically like saturated. One more risk I was checking, like this thing has been dependent on three sealed unit manufacturers, and depending on those three is it could be a potential risk. As in, if they increase their price, it could affect us, or any reputational damage on those part on those three manufacturer will also include our company as well. So this was something like I am doing some general research. I didn't started like doing in depth. One is price sensitivity and high discounting. They are giving very high discount to the customers. So these are the certain things which I just marked when I was just skimming through the pre-scene. But I haven't started actively studying. I'll start with F2 today because that is the area where I'm lagging.
Okay.
Yeah,
What date you have booked your exams?
I booked it for 15th, first half,
Okay.
around 10 a.m.
Well, even I did some industry analysis as well in the
Okay,
real
so
case scenario.
yeah.
And few of the points from the pre-scene also I noted as like close to 240 employees working in the head office, and at factory around 160. Overall, like close to 400 employees working directly as a who are like a director full-time employees of Shinyglass, and sales team completely like part-time are those who are like a outside of Shinyglass payroll, and they are like 550, and installation and subcontractors like 40 companies they are tied up, and it's around 650 employees they are working. And the Shinyglass is more dependent on the suppliers and the contractors, because they are not the manufacturer of any glasses here. They are not the manufacturer of any of the hinges, locks, or the UPVC or aluminum lens. It's all they import. They fabricate, like they will do the assembling as per the customer requirement, and that entire like I was able to draft that like how that process is working. Say for example, first maybe the customer raise the request through the portals like a company web page, or the company give a newspaper promotions or in the television promotions. Then they book the slots, or they use some online order booking, something like that, where the client will call and then order for the client site visits. Then that will be assigned to the sales team, and then the sales team again out of 550, the first preference was given to the high performing salesperson who is all, I mean, most of the success rate, whoever achieving it, for them the first preference will be given, and then that person will be going and visiting to the according to the client requirement. Then they will try to commit, they will persuade that customers to make the initial investment and then do the contract obligations. Before the contract even getting signed, the salesperson will do that measurement or do the survey, basic survey, and then they will give the price quotation, and then they will speak with the uh, regional sales manager. Again, they are like a full-time employees of Shinyglass here. Then they have a rights to reject or accept. So once they confirm, then the contract will be signed by the customer. Once that is done, it will go to the operational department. Operation department reviews and give it for the production, like the cutting team, whatever, whoever works in the factory. And once they prepared or ready with the equipment, again the allocating that booking slot, that client have an option to select which day they are okay to get that window or the door installation at their location. And then that will be communicated to the installation team, who is again a contractor, and they will sorry, I'll have to just go back a few steps back. So once the sales manager approves and the operations team, they will route it to the installation team. From there they have a surveyor and as well as the installation, two types of guys there. In surveyor, they will go and then visit the actual site, and then they will take actual measure of the plant or the client requirement, and they will try to compare with the what salesperson has done the what is that measurements, whether it is accurate or not, you know. Then it will go back to the operations, then it will go for the production or cutting and fittings. Once the fitting is ready, then again it will go for the installation. Once that installation is done, again it will go back to the feedback, getting the customer customer care support team will take the feedback. That is the entire process flow, how it works here. But again, Shining Glass is more dependent on suppliers and as well as the like a contractors completely. All their raw material, because they all take the like what is that, like UPVC and everything from the different sellers they purchase, and the glass also they will purchase, then they will assemble it and they sell it. That's what I had gone through with the
Contracting makes sense.
recent
Firstly, it is not an industry analysis, it is more of our operations, how it works.
operations. Yeah, correct. Our
It's
like
like
entire
our
process flow,
computer
if I
science.
say end to end. Yeah.
So contractor makes sense, but why you think supplier has got the power? You're saying power of supplier is higher, right?
Yes, of course. No, like say for example, there are three major suppliers of the sealed units. That's what I have seen. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And yes, the sealed units. When we say that, the glass manufacturers, when they deliver it according to the client requirement, they will deliver it. You know, if there is any delay or if there is any price change, obviously that will impact the agreement with what we have with the customers or the clients. So there is a huge impact if there is any price fluctuation with the suppliers, even including that locks, hinges, or whatever that we call it, like to locking or fitting the extra things apart from just a glass. So there also it is high dependency on the suppliers.
Right.
Misbah, I have one thing on page number 6, like in the third para, you will see that when they are talking about the three specialist manufacturers, even major door and window fabricators find it cheaper to buy sealed units from third parties than it would be to make their own. It's in page number 6. Just go up, slightly up. It's in the middle, yeah. The the third pair after the point. And the next para, the sealed units are supplied by 3 units. Yeah. So the this thing is basically what we have covered in P2, make or buy option, or
Right.
how we do it. So if in the long run, if Shiny Glass make their own windows, if they have that manufacturing uh, thing in their hands, in the long run, will it be a beneficial thing in my opinion, making in the long run, like after 10 years, after I have recouped the entire amount of my investment, it will start giving me like a cash inflow on the cost saving end.
Right.
What's your take? This
I
thing.
mean, it depends. We have to see the numbers, right? We have to calculate that,
Yeah,
like
so
make an
I think
assessment.
if a potential question comes regarding the NPV analysis on this, if
If
we
this
have to
question
make or
comes,
buy.
Manmeet, they'll give you some background about it. They won't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
say on theory. There is no calculation here, but they might give you something which is already calculated.
No, if I
You
have
can
to give
understand from
something
that.
regarding the industry, like
Right.
how it's oftenly done or how it's going on in general,
Usually,
irrespective
I
of
mean, apart
yeah.
from profit or apart from the cost part,
Hmm.
if you are getting more control in the supply chain, obviously, I think company should go for it. It's again
Got
different perspective. Some companies want to go to expertise, not because of cost, but it will be less hassle. But at the same
got
time,
it.
if you are controlling the supply chain a little bit more, you not only enjoy more commission, but you have better quality control because we are one of the leader, right? In fact, we are the leader in this country. So why we
Yeah.
want to give on to someone?
Yep. Either they could build their own or just acquire some of a company, some of the manufacturers who are
Usually
best in
acquire
this.
because bigger companies, it's very rare that they will go organically.
Yeah, got it.
And if you see, the glass is very much required also in the nowadays. If you see any house or any buildings, it will have a glass, either by through door or by through windows. And even if you see the lot of buildings also, like high story buildings also, it is like kind of like a glass house, fully instead of wall, the concrete wall or any other walls, they use the glass. You know, I think it has a huge demand. And if you see it says that only three suppliers, three specialist manufacturer. So
Mhm.
definitely it can be, if there is an option to acquire and it is good, and especially from the business diversification point of view also, it is really good. So it can be like inorganic growth, as Misbah mentioned, I feel.
Okay. We'll come back to this. So I was just quickly going through the plan, what individually you have done over the week. We'll just finish that, then come back to this. And yeah, Sheet, what have you done over the week? Have you gone through the recordings and what was your study plan? Have you booked your exams?
No, I did not book my exam yet. I was just going through the videos and pre-scenes. So yeah, like frankly speaking, I did not get much time to go through it, but I did sit for to understand what this basically the case is about, and I did pause the video today morning, and I was writing down the things. So definitely
Okay.
I'll keep an update on you.
Because it's less time,
Yeah, I know. Like
it will
I'm
fly
like
very fast.
yes,
Firstly, book the exam, so we have a deadline.
yeah, definitely I'll do it like that.
14, 15. You can book for 15 or 14.
Mhm.
That is better.
Yeah, I'll inform you. I'll update you about it. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Post on the group when you guys are writing.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Then Abin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
Yes,
Abin,
Misbah.
what have you done all over the week?
So I've gone to the pre-scene. Uh, so I have made like also I have done your homework stakeholders, fifth risks and the SWOT analysis little bit, and also when you send the what do you call the important points about the goodwill IAS 38 and consolidated statements. I was going through that, trying to connect those things. Also, I tried to analyze the financials of the Shinyglass and the other company. Sorry, other company was the competitor,
Okay,
Westaglit, and I booked my exam for 15.
nice. Is there any other stakeholder what you have written down what we didn't discuss just?
Competitors, financial. Uh, it's I just separated our two customers: the shops, offices, and commercial properties and households. That's it. And manufacture of UPC and aluminium. They
Okay.
are also very important, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because our entire sales is depends on them. And if the aluminium price have increased, or the price have increased, that will be a major problem for us, I think. And it doesn't say where it is uh, come from, the UPVC and the aluminium, I think. Does it say? For the
Uh,
seal manufacturers, I think they are from Templand, but the manufacturer of UPVC and aluminium, I'm not sure.
I think they have not mentioned. Let's see about that. I've just shared
Okay.
familiarity kit also. You can go through it. It
Hmm.
will give you sort some points for pestle financial analysis also.
Okay, okay, okay,
You can go through that. I just shared on the group.
okay.
What about Bilal? You have missed few classes. I hope you have gone through the recordings. Bilal, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. I can hear you. I went through the pre-scene. I have I still need to catch up with all the videos, the missed ones. Only then I'll be able to create a detailed plan on how to move forward. I haven't booked my exams also. I'll be booking by today or tomorrow, and I'll update you for this.
Are you still traveling?
No, I'm back.
Great. So the plan is today, maximum tomorrow. In tomorrow session, we'll finish the pre-scene, and I hope you have done that EP and F pillar already with Vinthia. Those who have missed can have the recordings. So once this is done, uh, you can start with the industry and the questions part, or answer writing strategies, and some of this analysis you can put in. We can go into that simultaneously. You guys can be revising on that. If there is
Misbah, one doubt, like where can we find the mock
some,
exams?
we'll share the mocks. We'll share the mocks. We have not
Oh,
done it
is it
because
not already available on the website, CIMA website?
website also we can upload. No problem.
No,
Whichever way you are comfortable. We have not uploaded yet
okay, 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 okay.
because we have yet to do the pre-scene, but hopefully by tomorrow we can do it. We can
Okay, sure.
share on the group WhatsApp or the application wherever you are comfortable.
Mm, okay.
And if there's something left with E2, P2, F2, Vinthya will take with you guys or any doubt on that.
Mm, okay.
But for today, go through the familiarity kit.
Sure.
And whatever analysis all of you guys have done, please share on the group. So it will be easy, we can compare and learn from each other's work. So let's get started. Actually, in last Saturday, we did I can statement, and that recording was also very important. So that also we need to refer. I hope everybody has gone understood that what is your role, what is I can. I can means you should be confident of doing that role as a finance manager. Anyone has any confusion in that?
No, Misbah.
I'll just highlight it again on the group so you guys can keep going through it again. Okay, because this is where the questions will be coming from. So I think we have in the last class we have done with the we were here, right, discussing about sales people, how we can change the plan.
Yes.
We have done this part, right? 80-kilometer
Yes.
distance. Even the glass we have completed. We'll start with the installation.
Yes.
All right. So basically, I mean, this we already kind of discussed this indirectly, how the installation work and all, but we can just go through it. As a finance manager, we should know what the operation works, because one common question they'll ask is about conflict. So there can be a conflict between installation and salespeople. or maybe the sales manager. Horizontal conflict or vertical conflict. This is one of the common tasks we have seen in the I can statement also. Secondly, we need to know this to understand how we can improve the efficiency, how we can reduce the cost, how we can add a different source of revenue, or how we can automate the product. Not the product, actually the service what you're providing here. Can we use robots in installation? Anything like that. What are the cost and benefit? So things related to technology also been very commonly asked in this, because everywhere they are looking how artificial intelligence, how the latest tech can be utilized. So Shinyglass has a network of independent installers that covers the whole of Templand. What do you mean by independent? That means again they are not. So one good thing we can say is we have not got a lot of fixed expenses as salaries. At the same time, it will be riskier for them. Similar to what we discussed for the salespeople. Can we have it in house, or it should be like self-employed? Most of them are. I mean, all of them are self-employed. Only we have the sales manager who are employed with us. The company uses 40 companies that employ a total 650 surveyors and fitters. The installers handle the technical aspect of checking measurement, designing, and installing doors and windows on Shinyglass behalf. They are paid on job by job basis for the work they undertake. Okay, so here, I mean, it's an opportunity or strength for us, we can say, because we are saving cost. But at the same time, what if you look from the risk perspective, when they are installing, they refer any other brands. You can write it down or just think of it and come with the mitigation. What if they recommend other brand? What if they leave us and join other companies because they are giving better commission? What if the measurement is not done properly, or it's done with carelessness? Glass and everything will be wasted. Who will take the responsibility of that? Can we do the insurance for this? How much is the premium? Because if there is some mistake happening here, and which definitely will happen, right? It's not like 100% of the time it's going correct. Who is the one taking the responsibility? Either it can be fraud, which is purposely, or it can be mistake, that is carelessness. Salespeople pass sales contract to Shining Glass operations department. Operation then arranges for an installer who is local to the customer to send a surveyor to visit the customer. The surveyor checks that the salesperson measurement are accurate and that the design of doors and windows are compliant with all applicable regulations. So one more thing we can do with the help of technology now. Maybe you guys are aware, in our phones also. I've seen in iPhone that if you take a photo or something like that, a camera, with the help of camera you can even measure it. Have you checked that feature? Like if something is there, we can just open the camera and see what's the height. It gives approximately that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So some similar technology we can use that, so a cost will be saved. Maybe we can have some exact or more appropriate thing with that, so that thing is also been saved.
Or we can build our own app and send the measurement or something like that.
Maybe we might have our own app
Yeah.
already. So
Mhm.
from that, even the customer can just take the video and just send it to us, a picture or something, or we can guide them how to do it. Because the customers, especially when it is doing for their house, they'll be very happy to get involved directly.
Misbah, one more doubt, like, why can't we teach the our own customer to fix their windows? Like, for example, like here one of my friend brought his chair, so it's like it's a gaming chair. So instead of they bringing like complete full chair kind of thing, they are able to show the like how to assemble the things from scratch. So using simple lock and keys. So that can be just putting my point. That's it.
Yeah. So basically, this is a category DIY, right? You're talking about this
DIY, yes.
DIY. Sorry. So DIY is do it yourself. So
Yes.
usually IKEA products are very much focused on that because they're very cost leader business, and they try to make it something very simple. So it is happening not only with the chair. I think a lot of other furniture they are doing. I don't know if it
But
is.
for
Yeah.
windows and glasses, isn't it too delicate? And the customers, I don't think so,
Yeah,
are ready to
exactly.
take the risk to
And
install
also,
it
like, there
themselves.
will be security concerns, like windows and doors are installed for security purposes. Of what if they are not doing it in a correct way? So it is again a concern. So I don't think DIY is a good option.
And if you say that, if you say it like that, then even chair is like an, in primary, right? Like if someone fix the things and if you fall down or something, then it's the same matter. Doesn't make
Uh,
much difference.
uh, Hi, Sheet. For the chair and all, so I have done this for the chair and even for the you can fix a drawer, it's fine. But I don't think for the window, the problem is first of all it has to be fixed, and we need specialist tools for that. Also, so in the so since we are living in if you are living in UK and all, you must have noticed that if any kind of leak or something is there, your if you have a heater, the heat will go out. Those kind of things are there. So it is I think it is a specialist needs need for that job, I think.
Yeah, true. That's good. Yeah.
So both the points are valid. What Sheet is saying and what you guys are saying. Ultimately, it's all about the risk. What we have to accept, risk and return, and depending on the customer. So I believe most of them will be happy that if somebody is coming and installing it for them, though it is even easier, they have the perceived value. It's riskier. Company can make it more easier so they can install themselves. But again, during the perceived risk in that, and obviously it is something with the external, so they can like somebody will break in and come inside. So they don't want to take risk, most of them. Or in the future, if you see customers are interested, we can start a pilot project and see if it works. We can start slowly with DIY also. But one thing we do with the measurement is we can add in the technology. So if you understand the process, then what is happening? I mean, surveyor is coming and checking the installer, sending the finalized design back to the operations department, who then provide details to Shinyglass factory. The factory estimates a completion date for the manufacture of doors and windows. The installer is informed and an installation date is arranged with the customer. Now the waiting period. One of the KPIs we can do is reduce the waiting period. If you look from balance scorecard perspective, so it will be customer side, customer perspective. Installers are independent business. They are paid on the basis of the number of doors and windows they install on behalf of Shinyglass. So this can be in an opportunity also, threat also. Now it is looking as an opportunity because, or it's a strength because we don't have to pay them fixed. And in a lot of countries, we have a lot of employment loss. If you get in somebody full time, you have to pay for their insurance. You have to take care of their uh, holiday pays and a lot of other things. Even if they leave, we have to pay some salaries until they get other jobs, depending on the country. But if they are contracted, we don't have that risk as well. Regulation risk is reduced. They're required to use vehicles that carry the Shinyglass logo and to have their staff wear shirts that carry the logo. So that is one good thing. Again, we are controlling, though they are not working with us, but they have to carry our brand with them. However, still there can be risks. They can be, kind of poached by other companies. Like, why don't you refer our brand? Why don't you do with us with the higher payment? Shining Glass evaluates installers on basis of customer feedback, which is monitored by customer care staff at head office. So once it is done, then the customer care will call and see how was your experience. Is there anything that is? This is also very important in this kind of business. Builders who place large orders for replacement doors and windows or for the construction of new builds usually provide Shining Glass the precise measurement prepared by their own architects. That's the thing. Because they have their own design. And this is where we'll get higher business from. We'll get in bulk. This is where we can have better margin also, and we can use economies of scale. So there is no need of surveyor. It's just about going and installing. Builders also tend to use their own stuff to install. Okay, installing is also not required, and window is a part of construction process. So here it's more about just putting it in. So that is also one reason maybe why we don't have an installer full time, because if you're getting more B2B clients, they have their own installers. So they just need the glass, they will install themselves. However, in the future, if Shinyglass is looking to go into new country, according to that, we have to change our operations. We need to be, any business need to be flexible with the operation, because every place, every market will be different. Even the same country in different state, maybe because of the weather, because of the culture, the way it operates, society operates, or what other expectations will change. If you're B2B, currently we are B2B, business to business and business to consumer also. Now we'll come to our office and details. Shinyglass head office employs 240 staff, so kind of a medium company. The company has further 160 staff at its factory. The head office and the factory are adjacent to one another in the central city. So around 400 employees, and usually we keep it closer because easy for the risk management. Everything is kept on control, like fraud can be reduced, and the senior management, everybody can have a constant visit to the factory and all of this. Marketing, there is a competitive market for replacement doors and windows. These are expensive product and customers generally obtain quotes from multiple suppliers. So this is one thing we have to consider. So we have to think, can we add an intermediary? Can an intermediary work here? For example, like, if you're renting a house, if you're booking a flight, we have a lot of websites that works like an intermediary, where you can go and comparing websites, isn't it? So if people are going through other companies, then we can think of launching a comparing website as well, because comparing website is not only for the cost but for the quality also. Shining Glass marketing department is reasonable for maintaining the company's reputation as reliable provider of high quality replacement doors and windows. So we have discussed how the marketing can be done, what strategies we need for the business specifically. Marketing has a substantial budget that is used to create advertising campaigns. These are used to update website content and for broadcast and printed adverts on television and in newspaper. We need to break it down how much so-called revenue you're expecting to come from newspaper and television, because the relevance of both is kind of reducing. Newspaper, if it is coming in digital form now, is still there, or we have to target more on Google and Meta advertisement, like Facebook, WhatsApp. That will be for Meta and obviously Google Ads. So we need to have a distribution on that. Then coming to the sales department has several roles within Shining Glass. So there can be a scenario where they'll say marketing and sales department has a conflict, or sales and installer, or sales manager, or the self-employed sales people have some conflict. The sales department is responsible for recruiting and training salespeople. The company suffers a small but persistent loss of staff. Some sales struggle with the stress associated with working on a commission-only basis. We have discussed this, and is there any other solution you can think of it? It wasn't start now. You have been reading the Preseen again, because this is looking a problem from my side also when I was thinking, because it's constant stress. Can we just make it like some part of the salary at least fixed and some variable? Because if it is 100% variable, everybody wants to go for some stable job. At least some part of the stable, so their expense have been taken care. Having to work mainly in evenings and weekends, sometimes successful staff leave for even better paid sales job with other companies, not necessarily in double glazing. Newly appointed sales people are getting the training. We are giving them sales technique and everything. Training is ongoing and all salespeople are required to attend training course every 6 months. This course affects and about product knowledge. All courses are organized on the basis of department rooms in local hotels. So more or less, it's like working like an insurance companies. A lot of insurance companies does that, but that's a different thing, right? But here we have recurring revenue. We have a good brand. What do you think? I mean, we have kind of touched this topic, but again, some people were not there. So some of you, what do you think? Like, shall we continue like that? Because the biggest risk is we can lose our talented salespeople. Will go and work for other companies, or maybe some of them will just become part timers, and they will not take it easy. If they get something, they'll do it. Otherwise, they'll be doing other full time job. I was giving you insurance companies. Insurance companies, these agents, like some of my friends are also doing. So they have some other full time job, and they do this job as a part time. So obviously, it reduces the effectiveness. Hello, I'm asking you guys, what can we consider?
I think I wish to continue. That's what I feel, Misbah. But looking at the situation, what they had given, they are giving over and above the average salary rate in Thailand, which is like close to 55,000. Suppose if we consider that
It's
entire
not
550,
salary, it is earn on average. So we have salespeople who must be earning more than that, and we have people
correct.
who are earning less than that. And I believe majority of them must be earning even lesser.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but on an average, if we consider it is 55K, that's what they had quoted, which means close to 30 million is the value that they are spending on the sales. However, that comes with without any fixed payout to them. So ultimately, it is a advantage for Shinyglass because they don't have any fixed cost or any overhead cost on the sales team. Yeah, and moreover, like this sales team has to operate somewhere like a non-working hours as well, maybe in the evening or a late night till late night. That's what in the below para they had given timing till 10 o'clock in the night, and sometimes even in the work. I mean weekends. You know, uh,
I mean,
because all the
not only
s-
sometime. I think it's more of weekend because usually
most yeah
they will call when the person is free, and obviously the working people are free only on weekends or evening
only
after.
on weekend. Correct. For that, in that cases, so this permanent employees, like with if we go with that, it would be very difficult to manage which days they need to work on because we cannot have any a single particular day as a like a off. You know, so they will have to end up with again. It is on more flexible, and here Shining Glass is also giving a more flexibility. Even the salesperson they can update in the system that okay, I am free on so and so date, and if there is a requirement from the customer also for the same timing, then they will allocate it. So that way it is more flexible because we are using a data or the system or the technology to book the order, to see the availability of the sales team and to see the requirement of the customers, and then accordingly it is being allocated. And if the sales team is not okay to do that work or the during maybe this weekend, suppose if I'm busy, I don't have to update in the system saying that hey, I'm not available. Okay, very simple. So that the any sales or the site visits will not be assigned to me. So that way it is they are operating. It is more flexible. They are honestly speaking. But if we go with the permanent resource with, yeah, the one good point what you call out as like fixed wages kind of, yeah, definitely that is a good fair point to at least to cover the basic expenses. But they will have to set up some target as well in order to get that minimum pay. Yeah. Anything which is over and above, it will be paid in terms which is covered in terms of the commission anyhow. Yeah, we can still go for the like a partial fixed and partial as a variable. However, that is subject again, that salespeople don't get any car, the petrol allowance, or any of the laptops or a system. Nothing they will get actually. It is completely like kind of like a freelance job they have to do. So that is working fine, I feel. But yeah, I know there is a lot of attrition rates looking at the way they are operating it, because the more pressure, because if they want to earn more commission, means they have to spend more, they have to travel up to 80 kilometers. It's not just one or two, I mean 10, 15, up to 80 kilometers they have to put their money, spend their money to the petrol charges or whatever that convenience. And if the deal goes off, then it's gone. All that money they have to invest, sometimes the money goes out of their pocket also, there is a high chances. And
Yeah,
sometimes,
it will not always get converted, right?
correct, correct. And the even somewhere, like I know that I'm going a bit, a couple of pages ahead. There is a rule, I have seen in the last page 27 or 28 somewhere in the news board, where if the contract is signed at home, the customer can terminate the contract. They
Then
can cancel it. If they cancel it, they won't get the commission.
you won't get
you
anything.
know
Yeah.
it is so much frustrating from that angle, not from the, like the way they are. I mean, these guys are very good, I mean very properly they are managing it, because they are booking the slots. Salespeople have to update their available free time, and then accordingly that is assigned. But this one, it's purely about the way how they persuade the customers. If they are onboarded and if they opt for it, it's fair point, they can get huge amount of commissions, especially on the bigger clients, or the like kind of like apartments, or the some of the big builders. If they got it, they get a huge amount of commission, which is fair point one side. They get kind of like a motivated also. But when the deal goes off, some employees, they will tend to move out, because they have to pay their home rents and other miscellaneous basic expenses. Obviously there is an attrition rate is more, so that is indirectly also impacting our cost for the Shinyglass in terms of training, because these guys are giving a training every 6 months once in a hotel, and not in everything in one hotel, like according to the area wise, division wise they are doing it. That comes with a cost. There will be a lot of people who is coming or onboarding from the sales team. That is again, they will have to keep feeding about the products and the specifications. But looking at the cost point of view, as a overall average, if I take it like around 55,000 means 550, or yeah, 550, it is around close to 30 million, which is an like a 50% above margin
There
means
can
almost,
also be,
yeah,
kind of conflict between two salespeople.
correct,
I
obviously.
feel like that can be a question coming in, because that's the main conflict I am seeing. To test people's
Correct,
skill, usually SEMA put a conflict question.
correct. That's what it is there actually
So
here.
two
Even,
salespeople, if they have conflict, how we
huh,
can manage that? Because this is an average. When obviously, I believe there are few salespeople who are earning more, and most of them might not be earning that, near to the average.
correct. And the preference is also given to the salesperson who earned more success rate. That is what they have called out
I mean, that can
here.
also be kind of looked as a bias, because they should support what
Biased.
with more training, isn't it?
Correct. Correct. Especially on the person who is assigning to the salesperson, they will have to bribe. Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah, that
If they have
means
a good rapport, they can, okay, I can give it to them. Okay, give me a big client. They can do that.
yes, yes. They'll
So
have their personal benefit in that.
personal benefit definitely.
And another thing, I mean, these points are definitely valid. Another thing, if we, let's say, make it in-house, maybe we can save cost, because the average is going more than the what is usually paid in the country, minimum average. We are paying more than that. So if you make them in-house and maybe kind of fixed or semi-fixed, then overall cash outflow will be reduced. So the cost will go down. But the problem can be, as you just said, the effectiveness can also be reduced.
Correct. But however, that will come up with some what is that, overhead cost as well. As I said, the transportation, because the sales team, if they are with the permanent employee, they don't want to spend from their pocket for the travel expense. obviously the company has to pay, and their seating or whatever that facilities that they have to give, and along with the insurance benefits, employee benefits, a lot of things they have to look. So the overall employees itself, it is like, as a full-time employees, it is just a 400. That's what they quoted somewhere. And if they are looking like 550 as a complete sales team as an outsiders, like if they want to take it as a permanent, the cost will double or even more than double.
More than a lot of compliance come into place.
Yeah, a lot of people management, a lot of, again, additional lot of teams, the management teams needs to be hired to manage the 550, right? So I know the technology come in play a major role here to manage them, because looking at the way how ChatGPT or artificial intelligence or the robotics, the way it is working, we need to think from the different angle as well on this.
Yes. All right. So the same thing continues. Regional sales manager, full-time employees who are based at head office. Regional sales managers work in shifts to the sales. People can make contact anytime, 8 to 10, 7 days per week. Sales people are required to seek approval from the duty regional sales contract. So that is one thing again which can have a conflict again. Regional sales managers may refuse the terms that have been discussed with customer because the discount that has been offered is excessive, or because the order is too small to be worth fulfilling. So they'll look at the cost and benefit. The need to seek approval encourages sales people to press for better terms and for large sales when negotiating with customers, even if that leads to some lost sales. So here the problem is, when another thing we have to consider is an ethical part of it. We have a case study previously. It was for an energy drink, and it was very relevant to what these guys are doing. Red Bull, because they say Red Bull gives you wings, you can fly, right? I mean, it is just for representation purpose, but still, the way they put it is completely wrong. It is unethical, right? Maybe it's legal, they have found some loophole, or it's very close to legal or illegal, but ultimately, from ethical point of view, not only this, but a lot of other companies are into unethical advertisement. The same thing happened with the sales, and usually globally salespeople are kind of blame of telling lies or misrepresenting stuff. So as a company, we cannot promote unethical behavior. So that also we need to consider. When we are training, we need to take care that ethics is not being compromised. Regional sales manager also monitor the performance of salespeople and can renew those who have been successful with additional sales leads or with leads of for potential large sales. All salespeople are self-employed, so it's easy to dismiss them if they're unsuccessful if converting sales leads order. So this can be reputation risk. We just discussed. The sales department is also responsible for the management of Shinyglass call center after sales service. If somebody has any problem now, they have to go and fix it. If it is an installer's mistake, again, who will bear this cost? Is it a company who is the owner, or maybe the installer, because if it is their fault? Or we have a tie up with the supplier. If supplier itself gave us something which was having maybe some problem or some issue, who is the one taking the responsibility? Oh, it's a cost. Call center operators receive call from potential customers who wish to book sales visit. They also make calls to potential customers who provide contact us through the website or by using response coupons in newspaper. This is also common. Usually they give discounts on through the newspapers. The call center also direct calls to operations customer if customers have queries about forthcoming installation or a complaint about their doors and windows. Especially I was referring to the complaints. Who will take the expense for that? Usually it has to be company, right? Then if you go to our operations, the operation department organize the administrative aspect of making doors and windows and arranging their installation. Obviously, we should have an operation director and everybody in-house. The operation coordinates the activities of the factory and the local installers to ensure that doors and windows are manufactured and installed at a time that is convenient to customer. So maybe let's say weekend or in evening. And the best part is, once we are getting order earlier, that means we don't need to have a lot of raw materials. We can follow just in time approach. We don't need to keep a lot of inventory. Most household installations can be completed in a single day. It's not like we are going there and making it from the scratch and making the entire house dirty or the place dirty. Customer care, Shinyglass guarantees products for 10 years. I mean, it's a long time, right? There should be definitely some clause, what it covers, what it doesn't. Customers contact the customer care department if they believe that the doors or windows have become defective with the time, with that time. Sometimes, mishandling also can lead to it. Okay. Let's say everything is going good and before 10 years something happens. So who is taking the responsibility? Is it a shiny glass, or we have just, done the contract with the suppliers of our raw materials? But if we are manufacturing the glass, I believe it should be with us. And we have insurance again to support this. How we are managing this risk. So please put this also on your risk list. It will be better if all of you finish your risk list by at least before tomorrow's session and share on the group. Is it possible? Whatever, if you are not able to reach 40 or 50, just make at least 30, 35 and just put on the group.
Okay.
Okay, Misbah.
Thank you. Customer care will arrange the installers. So for that, you have to read the pre-scene again and again. You have to look from pastel perspective, SWOT perspective. Therefore, this familiarity kit which I shared, no, that will be helpful. Just try to see like it's your own business. You're not only the finance manager, think like an owner. So easily you'll understand this, what we are talking about here. It's very simple and logical. Customer care will arrange for the installer surveyor to attend the property and to submit a report. Alternatively, independent glazing repairing company may be asked to carry out the inspection. If it is again independent, it's again cost. If the surveyor report indicates that the problem is covered by the guarantee, the customer's care will arrange for a local installer or repair company to correct it. That's again a cost. Shinyglass prefer to use the original installer, but that may not always be possible. So, do we have any contract with the installer in first place? Let's say it was a mistake of an installer, and obviously our team or the managers are not visiting the place. It's just we are talking with the clients, the customer, and maybe the client themselves don't know if it is done perfectly because they don't have that knowledge and experience. If it is for the installer mistake, we have already paid the commission and everything. They are independent people. Now again, because of their mistake, somebody else has to come in and the company has to pay out. It's an extra expense. Shining glass guarantees cover manufacturer's defects, installers error. So please add the previous one also. What it covers, I mean, what it doesn't cover: failed sealed unit unless the unit falls within 12 months of installation. Accidental damage, somebody has just put in or like that. Somebody tried to break it. Obviously, that is not part of it. And how we define accidental damage is also something we need to see. If there is a flood or something in that area or some natural calamities, that is also part of accident, because we'll give them guarantee only under the normal circumstances, not like in one-off event or special events. So that contractual risk also need to be taken care of.
Sorry, Misbah, I have a doubt.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. It is regarding that sealed units. Okay. So
Okay.
if the sealed units get damaged after 12 months, actually it might not be the fault of the customer, no, actually. Then why are we not giving the guarantee? Do you know anything about that?
Sorry,
That
sorry.
was
Can you
the
please repeat?
so sealed units. Actually, we are giving the windows and sealed units all together, no?
Yeah.
Okay. If something happens to the sealed units, okay, uh, sealed units after 12 months, okay, so it's actually might not be the uh, what do you call the fault of the customer, no, because it can be from our side, or from the problem of the manufacturer who gave us the seal units. So, but and if we are not giving 10 years guarantee for that also, it is not fair, no?
I mean, maybe it has a wear and tear before that. And this is what companies done. Even if you buy a refrigerator, they say it's 10-year warranty, 10-year guarantee. But usually it is not for the entire refrigerator. They'll give for a machine, or they'll just give for the outside part. That is a kind of sales strategy companies follow. Any warranty or guarantee, if you see, when they say for 5 years, 10 years, it is not for the entire product. It will say just for the machine or just for the body. Usually it will go longer, but they can't promise it from that side. I'm just saying other aspect of that. What you say is also make sense, but maybe this seal units, it has to be done with how the construction is done, how old the building is. There are other factors which is not controllable, and we are more of a glass. We are just taking care of the glass, not the other areas around it. And another reason, maybe we can just keep the glass maybe and just change the other areas around it.
Okay, Misbah.
The customer care department contacts customer after the every installation to gather feedback on all aspect in order to subsequent installation. So we have to get a lot of data. And one thing we have to see, like any other businesses, we have to see how we can cross sell, because we are into this business for a long time now. What are the relevant business? So another research which we can do over the week is, what are the other closest business we can do it. Why it will be easier for us? Because we already have a lot of satisfied customer. We have the data, we have the information, we kind of understand what is their spending capacity also, isn't it? So we can cross sell it, we can upsell it. Because the reselling is difficult, because it goes for years. Reselling the same products takes time. For example, if you're selling car, we cannot resell car again for years, but we can resell, or we are cross selling servicing, we are cross selling other products related to that. So that is one way our business can grow. That is like product development. We can bring in new product. Shinyglass has a team of engineers who work closely with the marketing department in order to develop new products. So we have to do data mining, understand the data properly and see what new things can come in. Can we manufacture glass for cars also? What do you think? Assuming this developed country, almost every individual will have a car. It can also get, due to some accident or something. Can we provide a car for that also? There are some companies, we just call them, they come home and they'll fix it within hours. Can we take that project also? Or at least we can tie up with some company and we can be a middleman in that kind of setting.
Sorry, Misbah, do you meant fixing the car glasses?
Yeah,
Of
just manufacturing
Okay.
it. Fixing can be done by, again, this third parties or any independent person.
Manufacturing the glass or the frame unit. How?
Manufacturing the glass, because we are a glass manufacturer, right?
No, but we don't manufacture glass. No, we just assemble the glass and everything. I believe.
So we can do for that as well. I'm saying whatever is relevant to that.
Okay, okay.
That is just one example. We can consider some other examples also which is relevant, or at least to the same client we can cross sell or upsell. The data we are generating, we can use it, or maybe we can share with other companies with users consent, with the client's consent, just as another source of revenue. So what is the product development team is doing? Shinyglass is constantly introducing new features, such as a recent change to the manner in which frames are constructed. The new construction methods make it extremely difficult for the burglars to remove seal units from doors and windows from the outside of a home, which enhances security in comparison with competitors' product. That is one thing. We can also tie up with the electronic products nowadays. If somebody just touch it, like we have in car, it will start making sound. Beep sound will come, or any sound will come. Same thing we can install specially for the business clients, business properties. Once it is locked, even if somebody touches, it will start making sound. You might have seen this in a lot of small shops already, like off license shops.
We can think about furniture and fixtures,
Furniture and
repairs and
furniture also.
maintenance. Yeah,
We can go into kind of, even dining table kind of thing, something with the kitchen where glass is still preferred. People like glass.
correct.
The administration and finance department is responsible for several areas, including human resource, legal service, and accounting. Legal service, contractual risk is there. We have to do a lot of contracts, or it may be a three-party contract between the client, then the installer, then the company. Production, the factory has a management team that is responsible for supervising manufacturing activities. There are also supervisors and operators who operate the equipment and conduct quality control. So what kind of machines we are using, what kind of latest technology we can bring in, what will be the return, what will the percentage return increase, or how we can reduce the wastage, all of this can be taken care of. Just very small, I think. Yeah. So coming to the board of director. So board of director is extremely important. Any company is as good as their board of director because they are the one who are taking the decisions. So we need people who are from similar experience or who are kind of contributing, whether it is executive directors or non-executive directors. Usually for non-executive directors, they have not given background here. In strategic case study, they'll give all the background. But we assume that everyone has a complementary and supplementary experience to bring in or expertise to bring in. So we have Yang as a CEO. Then we have Ilyas, market director, taking care of external communication, product development. This is very important. I believe this is important for us to go into new products as well to grow the business. Second, we have Rosnan, sales director, recruitment and training of salespeople and managing the call center. So if there is a conflict with the salespeople, we need to take care here. Joshi, operation director, maintaining networks of installers and customer care. Larissa, scheduling production, purchasing material, product quality. And we have Nathan, finance director. Basically your team, management, accounting, financial reporting, human resource, and legal services. So we have legal services as well. We don't know their particular background. Usually it is not part of management case study, so they don't do. In strategic case study, once we go, they'll give the background of individual person also. Why? Because we have a nomination committee who will be keep on looking continuously, is the board effective, what expertise and experience these people are bringing in, is it best for the company? If not, we will keep on replacing them. Even if it is good, after a certain time, especially with the non-executive directors, we want to keep on bringing in fresh people. So as per UK corporate governance, we need a non-executive director to chair the board, so that executives, they will not take decisions for their personal thing, but for the shareholders, the owner of the company. So we are also following that, though it is more for a listed company, but unlisted company also follows it because it's beneficial for them. So we are doing that. That's a strength for a company. It will create more trust. So Alison Hall is non-executive chair. Then other non-executive, we have Fateh, Nurul, Provadi, and Sophia. So we have like 5 of them. Technically, we should have one more because as per corporate governance, we need equal number of people. Like if you add CEO, like it's even more. We need equal number of executive and equal number of non-executive other than the chair. That way we have two less, but still it's okay in complying with that. This NED and all will not help us more because we don't know the background and what they're coming from. But maybe if some question comes with the board of directors and their effectiveness, on a positive side, you can write that we are having NEDs who are keeping a check, because executive directors' main responsibility is all stakeholders, including the shareholders. but NEDs are majorly for shareholders, the owners. Because when we are working for the company, we are the agents. And who are the owner? The shareholders. So there is a problem. It is also known as agency theory, where directors, executive directors especially, are working for their own benefit, their remuneration, their personal bonuses. So to keep and check on them, we have got NEDs. The NEDs will be scrutinizing all the decisions being made by them, and therefore NEDs are the one who is leading the committees also, be it audit committee, risk committee, nomination committee, remuneration committee, and they are independent. These people should be independent. Independent as in means they should not be a majority shareholder, they should not be supplier or purchaser of the business. So their decisions are not biased. Therefore, we want them to be independent, or their personal interest should not be at stake. In Shinyglass business model, usually if they ask you a question in exam about change in business model, business ecosystem, so use this model itself to answer, and this is very commonly used. So you can break it down your answer into 4 paras, that is define value, create value, deliver value, and capture initiative value. So this is how we are doing it now. But if they ask you, we want to change the business model or some aspect of it, not even completely, so you have to see how it will change from the current defining value to the new level, way of defining the value. Okay, so this is very important. You will have access to the pre-scene in exam, but it's better if you remember it. The Shinyglass works closely with number of stakeholders. The company provides customer with excellent quality doors and windows. In order to do so, Shinyglass work closely with supplier of seal units and materials to maintain product quality. Salespeople and installers rely on Shinyglass to provide steady source of revenue. So this is how we define value. But going forward, we can add more products or maybe some services. The way we define value is changed, because once we know what is value for us, basically business is what? Business is all about adding value. Or in fact, every step in supply chain, they are adding certain value. Sometimes it's just perceived value also, like in marketing. Many times it's just the packaging or associating a celebrity with that. It's a perceived value. But whatever it is, we should know what value our business is adding. So what value we are adding? We are giving excellent quality doors and windows to the clients. Then other thing is we work closely with the supplier of the seal units. And why we are working closely? Again, to give good product, good quality. How we are creating value? Shinyglass creates value largely through its engagement with networks of business partners. So engagement is very important. This is one of our CSF, we can say, critical success factor. Write it down. This is very important. Network. So we have to create a network with the business partners, especially in B2B. This is super important. Primarily the supplier of seal units and the contractors who provide installation service. If somebody is even doing a startup, if it is with the clients, it is even easier. But when they want to do with other business, B2B, it is very difficult. Why? Because it is more of the relationship they have, the engagement they have with the other businesses. Very difficult to switch them, because cost is not the only reason. But if it is individual client or customer, the cost can be the reason. Even if you are giving better price, they can come to us, or quality also, they'll come to us. But in business to business, is more than price and the quality. Customers value the resulting windows and doors that add value to their homes and business premises and enhance their sustainability by reducing energy consumption. This is also another way of creating value. However, in some places they have criticized this. We'll discuss. They are saying it is reducing the energy, but at the same time, during manufacturing, a lot of energy has been used. So it's like one and the same. Are you guys getting the point? At least one of you can have this question in one variant. So you should be by heart. I ask this tomorrow. Okay, you don't need to learn it, but you have to explain it how we are delivering and creating and all of those.
Okay.
Very important. Then delivering value, how we are delivering. Basically, what are the ways? Is it virtual? We can't do it virtually, right? But some part of that is virtual, like calls and everything. And other thing is we have to send our team. What is the way we are delivering value? Shinyglass pays close attention to the needs of customers in their choice of suppliers for windows and doors. This is significant purchase, and so customer must be measured that they are making correct choice. Sorry, reassured. Reassured means we have to educate them. We have to talk about different options. It's not like we have more commission in certain product. We are just trying to sell that part. Like this, it won't work. Otherwise, we'll be unethical, and we should not be part of any unethical business, or we should not commit something which is unethical. Shining Glass relies on its network of salespeople who are based across the country to ensure that customers choose the doors and windows that are best suited for their needs, specific to the needs. So these are business model. But lastly, how we are capturing residual value, or basically what extra service we are providing. Maybe what keeps us different from our competitors. So that is like capturing residual value. Shining Glass offer customer a tailored service. So these are differentiation. Nowadays, in every business, the expectations is like something should be bespoke, tailored according to individuals' need. Design packages for windows and doors to meet the precise needs. All products are of high quality and prices are set according. So we are not overcharging. Shining Glass gives quantity discount. This is another advantage what we are doing. So quantity discount is a win-win situation, even for the contractors and even for us, which encourages customers to place larger and more profitable orders, profitable for them and profitable for us. Fixed costs are minimized by paying salespeople on commission basis and installers for completed jobs. So, in short, this is our business. This is our business model. How we define value by giving them excellent doors and windows. How we create value by having a relationship and engagement with our client. How we deliver value. We deliver value by best quality of installers and giving them what they need. And what extra we are providing. Extra is we are giving a tailored service. We are giving quantity discount, and we are pricing it according to the product. Now, when the business model change, we have to see how we are changing all four of this. In fact, we can do this for every business, any business or any industry where you're working, and just try to uh, point out this four things. So this will give an idea about the business model. When we have financials, what I'm thinking is financials. We need to spend good time. We'll do it tomorrow and take the entire time on that. What do you guys say? Because I don't want to leave it halfway.
Yes, Misbah.
So we'll just skip the financials and go to the remaining part for today. Yeah, we'll go to the news articles. So basically, news articles gives us an idea. Obviously, it is external to the business, so it will be an either opportunity or either threat. If it is a threat, we have to see how we can convert this to opportunity. If it is an opportunity, we have to see how we can align this to our strength and how it can help us in our business. So let's see what they are saying. It's a local newspaper, Business Daily, Temple Business Daily. Environmental campaigners call for greater transparency from window companies. So just now we were discussing that it is better for environment, but during the manufacturing of it, a lot of things are getting affected. And this NGOs and environmental groups nowadays, they have got so much of power, and it's very easy for them to influence the government also. And with the rise of social media, if something is true, or something is like very important, it will go viral very fast, not only in one country but globally. There has been instances where companies have done something small unethical activity in a country maybe where it is not that strict, but the thing has gone public and it has affected them in other countries where in fact they are very ethical. It was assumed that these companies don't want to be ethical, but just because of this country they are trying to be. So action anywhere in the world will affect them. So we have to be very careful. Okay, so what it is, it doesn't look like a very positive news, look like more of a threat. Let's see. Environmental campaigners have issued a statement condemning the ways in which manufacturers and retailers persuade consumers to purchase unnecessary products on the ground that they will be reducing their carbon footprint by doing so. If you are just selling because if it is environmental friendly, then it's not fair. In fact, we just discussed this point on sales. We need to be ethical when we are doing sale. One notable example is double glazing. So straight away to our business. Which is often presented as sustainable and environmental friendly products. Modern UPVC doors and windows reduce heat loss in compared to older budgets and so reduce energy consumption. The reduction is often prompted to be a good as a good reason to upgrade to the very latest windows and doors. So this is true. But the thing is, the second part. The campaigners are concerned that manufacturers frequently exclude the environmental impact of manufacturing from their arguments. How much they have actually have an environmental impact when manufacturing that. About the switch to more sustainable products. For example, double glazing requires the manufacture of glass for new sealed units. Glass is made from plentiful materials such as sand, but it requires those materials to be melted in furnace, which consume great deal of energy. So thing is, if you are just selling it as an environmental thing, it can be a problem. If you are selling it like, okay, it is more safer for you, it is better temperature inside, like in winter time you won't feel more cold, or summertime it won't be too hot, that way is fine. But if they are just marketing, or if we are just marketing based on environment, that is, we are just telling them half truth. Sealed units for use in double glazing tend to be made in specialist factories. These units themselves are heavy and must be shipped to fabricators to be inserted in door and window frames. The energy consumed in making and installing new set of doors and windows can take years to recover from the energy saved through superior installation. So we need to be careful now. So what is the problem here? The problem here can be if we as a business, our competitors, any other industry, we are pushing this just for the environment, then it is unethical. We need to talk about other advantages.
Okay. Misbah, like suppose if you say, "Hey, we need to convert that into an opportunity," and considering that takes a lot of energy, that is what their complaint, right? Like suppose if you go with the natural energy sourcing like solar, the wind power, something like that. That way we can convert that into an opportunity, right?
Yes, we can say for the manufacturing of that, they were using alternative source of energy, kind
Yeah,
of.
makes
Or
sense.
at least our suppliers will choose somebody who is polluting less. We don't need to be, neutral, carbon neutral for now, or it's very difficult. At least we can be better than the competitor. So we can say we are better, or we are, less polluting than the others, or we are saving
Correct.
some percentage than others.
Yeah.
Then second one, be realistic when you invest in double glazing. So this is more of a educating news article for the clients. Let's see. You have probably noticed that your windows fog up whenever the weather is cold. This happens because of condensation. There inside your house is moist. I mean, this is a lot of general knowledge kind of thing. Anyways, we have to see how it helps us. Moist because of vapor from occupants' breath, steam from use of hot water to shower, and to run the hot tap, and evaporation from drying damp washing indoors. I mean, this is very common, and in bathroom we can see this almost daily if you're using hot water. When the moist air comes into contact with cold surface, the moisture condenses into droplets of water. That is why your window becomes foggy when it is cold outside. The bigger the difference between the air temperature and the glass, the worse the condensation. Some double glazing companies claim that their windows offer excellent insulation so can reduce condensation. The problem is we don't want that condensation. We want it to be clear, right? So some of the companies are solving it. The problem is that customer expect condensation to be eliminated entirely, which is unlikely to the case. We are actually solving the problem, but it's like reducing it, not avoiding it. Always ask for clarification. If a salesperson implies that a new window will deal with condensation in your house, it is unlikely that you are actually being promised that the problem will never occur. At best, you are being assured the rivals windows are likely to be worse. So the same point what we were discussing sometime before, the salespeople need to be ethical. Usually in marketing, they use just the rivals. They'll say less, this percent, 10% less sugar in our product, 20% less sugar. So they'll take an industry average or the competitors and comparing it, they will say. The only time that it is legitimate to complain about condensation is when it forms in the space between the two panes of glass. That happens when the seal between the panes has failed and has allowed the moist air to enter the space. So basically, if there is a break, and I believe if it is there, we are providing the service. So that should not be a problem. Seal units are generally guaranteed against failure for year after installation. So check your window before that guarantee expires. That 12-month guarantee what required. So is it an opportunity or threat? It doesn't look like a threat kind of thing. Neither an opportunity, but it's more of like we need to be ethical. Our salespeople, as they depend on that, and its salaries are not fixed, their commission is just based on that. It's very easy for them to over promise or tell something even which is not true. So in our training, we should make sure that our salespeople are ethical.
And moreover, this could be like a reputational damage
Reputational
also,
risk as well.
right? Yeah.
In the long term, it will become a reputational risk.
Yeah.
Then template daily news property column. Spot the builder. So builder is one of our important stakeholder, or I would say even a powerful stakeholder because they are giving us the business in bulk. Rather than going individually, if we get a builder, a contractor, it will be easier for us. Buyers of new build homes often like to visit the construction site to check on the progress of the new homes. Building sites are usually busy places with large number of people laying bricks, installing plumbing, electric cables. Okay. Surprising, the only person on typical building site who is directly employed by the house builder is the site agent. The thing is, in this building, there is a lot of subcontracting happens. Then agents come in, then sub agent come in. A lot of these things. Let's see what they are referring to. This are all employed by subcontractors who provide the skill and unskilled labor and rent out the equipment used on site. Most sites have several subcontractors. So basically, it's very complex. So we need to see whom we are actually dealing with. The subcontractors report to the site agent and the site agent monitors progress and quality. So do we need to do with the subcontractors, the main contractors, the site agent, or we need to have good relationship with them all, and whom we are actually sharing the commission, who is the one taking the call there? So this is just an idea how the construction industry works, specifically with the houses, individual house. House builders organize each building project separately. Subcontractors may be invited for a bid for jobs on new project, but builders do not necessarily use the same subcontract on every project. Obviously, they'll decide on the cost, quality, and the relationship. The most important is the relationship, their previous experience. It's obvious, right? That's how we also take decisions if we have to do something for the house. A local building company that has available staff and offers an acceptable price might be appointed in preference to a larger builder with whom the builder has prior experience. Price is one of the most important factors. It follows that buyers should take care when they are presented with the keys to their new homes. The quality of work is completed house can be affected by subcontractors who vary in terms of skill and caretaking, and also the diligence of the particular site agent who oversaw the job. So the problem is one person is taking the responsibility, passing on to other, and the other person is again sub passing on some to others. There is a high chance the quality of the thing will go down. And this happens. I mean, even in India, we might have seen a lot of this happening, and they just outsource it. The other person, obviously, they want to prioritize their profit. Everybody is looking for their profit, and ultimately it is the less money used in the manufacturing. Let's say somebody who is taking the direct project and completing it, so they'll just take their profit and remaining they'll put into the construction. But if there are so many layers coming in, everybody is looking for their particular commission. So what is happening, the budget actually allocated to that will reduce, and ultimately affecting the quality. They might use a cheaper alternative for that, and which might be in a way a threat for us, because when we are giving quality, our glasses and everything is not for cheap, right? Our installation and everything is not for cheap. It is a decent price, it's a good price. This is also kind of educating the people, and for us to just get an idea it works. Now this is the blogs. Recently CIMA has started this, I think it's been 2 years now. What they're talking about is what people discuss, what goes on social media. I especially like this part, because this is like an honest review from the clients, from the salesperson, for the employee, all of those. So this will give us an idea about the ground reality, what is happening. My first sale. So people are sharing their experience. I have just started working for sales for a small local replacement window and door installer. We sell good quality products, and we can undercut the big companies on price. Big company as in maybe big as a brand. I spent last week on training course and started my sales visit this week. So within a week we are just giving them to go. So again, that can be question like, how many weeks of training is required, or we are just giving them few hours of training and they are allowed to go. I spent last week. Okay, this one. My first evening was quite stressful. I spent 3 hours on sales visit and left with nothing. The customer seemed interested, but they insisted on taking their time to think about it. So this is the time where they want to compare with other competitors. So usually we have to, kind of close the deal that time. If we give enough time, there is a high chance they will change the mind. I hope that I hear from them again, because I'm paid on commission. So that was a whole evening's work for potentially no reward. I mean, we have discussed this few times, but I'm still thinking, can we make at least some points, or at least company can pay for their travel or something, because this no reward thing is very demotivating. Last night was a different story. I had a sales lead to visit a young couple whose windows were starting to discolor and let in drops. I showed them my sample window and they loved the clean white UPVC frame. They had considered asking for a quote from a big name company, but I pointed out that they would have to pay far more just to cover the cost of my rival's television advertisement. It took 4 hours, but I managed to persuade them to sign before I left. Tonight's commission is equal to half of the weekly wage at my old job. If I get it, it's kind of a competitors review. You're getting the point? Because we are a big company and we are doing the advertisement and everything. So there is a threat for us that other competitors can also copy the same strategy with the sale, and because of the cost advantage, they can end up making more sales. Comments: you did well to make sales on your second night. Welcome to Double Glazing Sales Club. You need to learn from your success. Never leave without a signature. You should have persuaded with the first visit. Then the last part of it. What's your factory like? I work for a small local installer. Again, this is not our company. Maybe we can try to acquire this business in future, or we can learn from what is happening in the thing to change our sales policy. We buy all our doors and windows from a factory that is about 150 kilometers away. I saw some photographs of the factory during my training, but I have never seen actually been there, and suspect that I never will. Do we need to bring them and educate them on the site also, or is just about sales training? There is a question here. Sometimes customer ask about the factory. I don't like to avoid question, and it's best not to lie. So I always say that it is state of the art to the best of my knowledge. It is, although I never know for sure what state of art means. I know that our doors and windows feel well made. We rarely get any complaints. So we can have some videos. Nowadays, clients are expecting a lot of transparency. So we can have some of the videos on the website itself, how the manufacturing is done, where it is located, you know, things like that. In fact, certain companies, they are even allowing outside to book the visit. If there is any construction happening or any manufacturing happening, they'll come and visit. Even if they are not clients, they'll just come and see that we are being ethical, or we are just being transparent. Whatever we promised, the same way we are doing the manufacturing. You have somebody commenting here. I had to tour our factory when I was training to sell replacement windows and doors. All I can really say that it was big and very noisy. The factory managers were really proud of a new machine that can cut sections accurately to within to tenth of a millimeter. So I always tell customer that factory staff take a real pride in their work. This is also part of education, I believe, because in 1 week, how much of training they can do it. So one thing at least we can do is improvise the training, or maybe the training time. However, this 1 week is for a small company. For us, we need to see how many weeks our training is actually. Take care when you are cutting the grass. Okay. I had a phone call this morning asking me to visit an angry customer whose new windows had been installed yesterday afternoon. The customer was angry because the glass is one of the sealed units in her living room window was broken. Immediately. It was just yesterday afternoon, now it's broken. The same thing is coming up. So if it is a mistake of the installer, who will take that? Or do we have insurance? We have to consider this risk. The customer accused us of fitting a defective window. I look at the customer's lawn, and sure enough, it had been freshly cut. It was obvious to me that lawn maker blade had caught a stone and had thrown it against the window with sufficient force to break the glass. It is common accident. Always check your lawn for stones before you cut your grass. So usually it is with the other issue. So this thing also we need to be very clear. I mean, we'll not tell the client directly, but obviously there will be no replacement from our side for this mistake. So the contract that we are signing should be very important. If there's anything, then they can claim it back. I remember when we used to promote double glazing as burglar proof, we had to stop because burglars quickly learned that they could easily shatter seal units with a sharp tap with a solid object aimed at the corner of the window. So how we market is also very important. We are saying about environment, that's a problem. We are talking about theft, that's also a problem. Wasted journey. I'm just back from sales visit that lasted only 5 minutes. Unfortunately, it took me an hour to drive there and another hour to drive home. Not to mention that the petrol that I wasted. Can we pay them for petrol, gas? The lead was for a lovely old cottage right in the center of conservation area. Local building regulations forbid the installation of UPVC doors or windows in the listed buildings in that area. So that was a mistake from the company itself. Why they were actually, not aware of the regulation. That is the responsibility of the sales senior manager who are working with us full time. Again, they have not mentioned any of this is from our company, but I believe that these are the smaller companies, especially the first one. You can be prosecuted for damaging existing single glass doors and windows, even if they permit draughts and waste energy. Comment.
One question, Mr.
Yeah.
Sorry. Uh, does it mean that it we I mean because the glass shiny glass will not sell any wooden framed glass, because we are just looking at the UPVC and aluminum, right? If we see that conservation area or whatever that restricted, and it is all looks like a kind of like an government restricted, and it is an old house where they want to retain that wood fitted frames, because we are not operating with that frames.
I mean, it's not
I
only
mean,
about
is it
the
weakness
frames,
kind
it's
of thing?
also with the glass.
Okay, it's not about the weakness, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's with the glass.
Okay.
So this was something with the training. I have had a similar experience. Now I check every lead online before I accept it to ensure that property is not in the conservation area. If it is, I just cancel the appointment. So this is also something with the training. Then cooling off period. 2 of this month sales were cancelled during the 14-day cooling off period. This is what we are discussing, right? Once they agree, they can again cancel it. The law makes life difficult for salespeople. Consumers can cancel sales contract signed in their own homes without giving a reason. We are not even allowed to contact them to ask what the problem is or whether there is anything we could do to resolve it. The month's commission is going to be very small. The company doesn't pay commission on cancelled sales. They have done the deal, but unfortunately, the entire thing will be on the salesperson again. It happens. Customers sometimes find a better deal with another company, or sometimes they simply get nervous about spending all that money on the advice of a salesperson who is hardly impartial. This won't be your only cancel orders, but bad luck to those last two in the same month. Basically, we got an issue about the sales. There are so many things they have talked about in the pre-scene with the sales. I feel there can be a question coming from the salesperson, either to the conflict, or either to deal with them, or how we can plan the uh, approach with them, how we can manage them as a stakeholder. Maybe you guys can also do a little bit of research and see what is the best way to deal with the salespeople. What are the best practices happening in the business, not only in this industry but other industries as well. Okay.
Think about it. But all the other overhead. Also, what we have to do the research on sales, how we can like.
I'm saying, what are the other ways we can deal with the salespeople? Try to understand what is the best practice companies are doing across industries to deal with the salespeople, to understand their concern, to find a middle ground where the company is also not having a problem, neither the salesperson, a win-win situation.
Actual invoices for electricity, so we are July, August, and we have seen an increase in the rate in implementing.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll start with the finance, and whatever questions we have on this also we can discuss.
Okay.
Tomorrow same time is fine?
Yeah, it is fine for me.
Yes, it's